Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with the On the Fly review for you. And today I'm talking about Space Jam: A New Legacy, released last Friday, directed by Malcolm D. Lee, starring LeBron James, Don Cheadle, excuse me, that distracted me, Zendaya, Sarah Silverman, Stephen Yeun, Laurel Howery, and that Oscar-winning rabbit, Mr. Bugs Bunny. This is, of course, a sequel slash remake slash of the original Space Jam movie, which came out in 1996, 25 years ago. And the whole setup here this time is that an evil algorithm called Algorithm has lured Michael Jordan and his son into the Warner Brothers HBO Max library. Yes, really. And forcing LeBron James to play a basketball game against him to save his son. And his whole end game is he's going to trap real people in the algorithm. This isn't a good... I mean, the whole movie is really just a commercial for HBO Max, but at the same time, the story of the movie says if you get HBO Max, there could be this evil monster inside our algorithm that wants to trap your soul inside here as a slave. That's not a good ad. That's just not a good ad. That's not good marketing. I mean, it sucks. It just sucks. I mean, I want to get something clear. It's not like the original Space Jam is a masterpiece, but it was something special, and what made it special was that there was nothing quite like it. You know what I mean? It was kind of a cinematic experiment. And it was great. It's great for what it is, and it never, ever, ever, ever needed a sequel. I mean, yeah, we can compare LeBron James and Michael Jordan all goddamn day. I personally don't like LeBron James because of, a multitude of reasons. I don't think he's a team player. He's never shown any loyalty to one specific team or city. I think he's politically disingenuous. I think he's a drama queen on the court. And I think he's talks down to people, worst of all, worse than anything else. And like I said, you can compare their experience, you can compare their accolades all day long. Like, yeah, LeBron James a 4-time world champion. Yeah, Michael Jordan's a 6-time world champion. This kind of stuff. But, stuff like charisma, character, charm, admiration, and just sheer reverence. These things aren't variables. They're what's what I'm looking for, intangibles. These kind of things you can't teach. I can't sit here and tell you why Michael Jordan is the greatest American athlete since Jesse Owens. He just is. And that's nothing against LeBron James. There's only one Michael Jordan. Even Michael B. Jordan isn't Michael Jordan. And he knows it. But ultimately, what it comes down to, this movie is a shameless, empty, shallow shell of a cash grab with no love towards basketball, towards the Looney Tunes, or even towards LeBron James, to be fair. Because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of hype and build up to LeBron James, but it all feels so hollow and shallow and empty, almost as if not even the filmmakers believe LeBron's the GOAT. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm no sports guy, but I've always loved basketball, and Michael Jordan's a hero, and he's a good player. He's a really good player, but he's not like he's not Michael Jordan. There's only one. No one else could have pulled this off. And it's not just in basketball. The movie wouldn't have worked if it was Michael Jackson with the Looney Tunes. It wouldn't have worked if it was the fucking Coreys. It just would not have worked with anyone else. That's why it was so foolish to try to recapture that. And again, the whole commercialism of it is just so shameless and so vapid. I mean, it almost kind of feels like, hey, look, Disney doesn't own everything yet. I mean, technically, Wizard of Oz is public domain. Disney has their Wizard of Oz movies too. But it's just so bad. The biggest, best, most entertaining thing about the whole movie to me was in the crowd of all the Warner Brothers property characters, Pennywise the Clown hanging out with the White Walkers and the Dozier Batman villains got a laugh out of me. Overall, what's really bad about the movie is its sappy life messaging, its empty platitudes, it's absolutely just shameless marketing. And it's, more importantly, something I haven't even mentioned, I don't think, but it's too fucking long. It's too goddamn long. It's more than 30 minutes longer than the original Space Jam. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say, man. I do think that it was more watchable, more engaging than, because some jokes did land. It does have Bugs Bunny. So it's not the painful dreck that the critics and IMDb may be leading you on to believe, but it is really bad. It's really, really bad. I'm gonna give it. Damn, when the movie was over, I was thinking, I'll give it 3 stars. Before I sat down the video, I'll give it 2.5 stars. I'm sitting here, I talked about it aloud. I'm like, oh man, I'll 2 stars. 2 stars is the best I could do for Space Jam. Space Jam 2. Space Jam 1, despite being just kind of a nothing of a movie, it just... I still kind of had this, self-awareness. There's enough humor in there for adults, and that's another thing. Just the more socialist Hollywood the town gets, the more uber conservative their films become. I mean, there's no balls to modern day family entertainment at all. There's no winks to the adults or which I guess what you would call meta shit. And yeah, it sucks. And also, the thing about, 2 little SJW things of virtue signaling nonsense I gotta point out here. First off, with Lola Bunny, they make this whole point in the marketing and the making of the movie of gonna tone down Lola Bunny's sexuality because she was over-sexualized in the original movie. I was a prepubescent boy when that movie came out, and I never thought about fucking Lola Bunny. All that does is telegraph to me that the people who made this movie thought about fucking Lola Bunny, and now I know way more about the people who made this movie than I ever wanted to know. And on the other side, and on the other thing I want to talk about is Pepe Le Pew. Look, I hate Pepe Le Pew. I've never thought it was funny. It's a one joke shtick. I absolutely hate those cartoons. They're the ones once they got available on DVD and shit like that, and you had Tebow. Fast forward Pepe Le Pew every time I'm watching some Looney Tunes. But you cut Pepe Le Pew because he's a sexual deviant and sexual predator, which he is. But then you have a cameo in the audience of Alex the Large and his droogs. I mean, Pepe Le Pew was a creep, but I'm pretty sure he never engaged in a bit of the old ultra-violence. Anyhow, this movie is shit. It is a clusterfuck mess of a movie. LeBron ain't MJ. He ain't no Lord of the Sky. He ain't no Master of Altitude. He ain't no king. Fuck this movie. Watch Space Jam. It's much better. In fact, as soon as I was done watching this movie, I couldn't get my kids to watch this movie with me. Oh gosh, so fucking start with that. Neither one of my daughters wanted to watch this fucking thing with me. But as soon as it was over, I was done watching it with my phone. I was like, well, that fucking sucked. They're down to watch the real Space Jam with me. Then we watch that on goddamn Hulu. Should have just started the goddamn day with Space Jam. The real Space Jam. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you fuckers on the fly.